Yeah.
So I'm
Sticking
with
with
you.
quarterbacks,
Yeah.
some guy who's been in the league for a very long time.
Yeah.
Finally, after 2 years, got his first win with his new franchise. Aaron Rodgers gets his first win as a New
There
York
you
Jet
go. Yeah.
against the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah.
And he looked decent. It didn't light the world on fire, but
Yeah.
it was a decent game. They tough win. 24-17
So,
on the
yeah.
road against
Hmm.
Tennessee. Good,
Yeah.
good
I
for him,
mean,
man.
this is one of those games, and we talked about it. Like, this was, I think, granted, Will Levis played well. He had Calvin Ridley, a bunch of times, got, put up some numbers, but,
Mm,
he made some mistakes, like I talked about. I don't think he's that good of a quarterback. I mean, he is another, like young guy, second year quarterback.
yeah.
Like he made some mistakes that basically cost his team the game.
Mhm.
And, in the end, the Jets defense did play better. They did against the Niners, and they ended up, basically helping them, holding Tennessee, and, they ended up winning the game. But Rodgers did play better. He was moved around a bit better. He kind of hit some random people. Like I know that Braylon Allen had a big game. From the backup running back position, like like behind Brees Hall, which he was kind
Mhm.
of like a guy to kind of look at in fantasy, maybe a potential pickup, just in case, as a
Yeah.
good handcuff. He had a good game. So, especially if something happens to Brees Hall, you definitely have some value. Um,
He had a
but
pretty decent run average. He had 4.7 average, 4.7
yeah,
yards average. He
hmm
had 7 carries for 33 yards.
and a couple of TDs. He caught one and he ran one in. So,
He caught one and ran
it's
one. Yep.
just a guy to look at, and then Rodgers still was targeting Garrett Wilson pretty heavily. So, I expect Garrett Wilson, I think, is still going to be the wide receiver that you want, probably because Rodgers is going to target his number one guy a lot.
Yeah.
So
Him and
I
Brees
still
Hall.
think, yeah,
Yeah. Those were his 2 top targets.
yeah. So, like the usuals in the Jets offense basically did their
Yeah.
thing. And, they came away with a nice win in Tennessee, granted, but I think overall the Jets kind of have like an easier schedule in the beginning, so I expect them to kind of get a couple more wins here moving
Yeah.
forward. But
Yeah.
like they're they didn't look at that impressive like in the first half. Like you're like, uh-oh. Like we were wrong on this one, but then they end up
Yeah.
kind of turning it on in the second half and winning the game.
Yeah. They shut out Tennessee in the fourth
Yeah.
quarter, which was the difference in the game.